There are movies out there that have had quite an influence on the film community, and I believe E.T. the Extraterrestrial is one of them. Yeah, it's been. I think Lilo and Stitch was influenced off this, and so was Stranger Things. Well, it was influenced a little bit off this. You could tell a little bit of what was in the show was taken off this movie. But then again, Stranger Things was influenced off a lot. But I'm not. I am definitely going to say E.T. was probably one of them. And the scene where E.T. and Elliot flying across the moon has been spoofed many times throughout the years. I mean, that's how much E.T. the Extraterrestrial has had an impact on the film community. I remember being 7 years old, my parents taking me to see this. Of course, at 7, I didn't see many trailers of movies, and I didn't see any of this. But my parents knew I was gonna love it, and I was generally surprised. I really did like this film. The film is about a spaceship in the forest, just observing Earth with its aliens around, just observing everything. But are stopped when a bunch of truckers come by and they're forced to leave. But they leave an alien that was on the ship behind, and he goes around Earth trying to hide from poachers and people that want to examine him. He meets Elliot, played by Henry Thomas, a lonely boy who is having trouble coping with his parents' separation. And so is his mother, played by Dee Wallace Stone. Is having trouble coping with the fact she's going to be a single parent. At first, when Elliot first sees the alien, he is scared of him. But then comes to a realization that maybe the alien was just as scared of him. So he leaves out Trail, well, Reese's M&M's, out just to get him to come back. And he does, and the two form a friendship, and he invites him into his room. And he lets his older brother, played by Robert McNaughton, and younger sister, played by Drew Barrymore, meet him, and they all become one, just to hide him from their mom. But E.T., even though they make E.T. feel at home, E.T. wants to go home, and he has a plan to put together a device that can make him, that could call home for them to come back and get him. But little does Elliot and his family know that they are being watched by government agents. How will this all play out? But I'm sure you know that story. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to see the movie to find out. E.T. was a good film, I gotta say. I mean, I enjoyed every bit of it. Every time I see it again, it just keeps intriguing me. This movie is memorable in all spots, especially a scene in the classroom when we go back and forth to seeing E.T. drinking beer and Elliot kind of getting drunk because he feels what E.T. feels. And in a certain bike riding scene, they actually did it twice. First with Elliot, and then with Elliot and E.T. and all the guys' friends. It's just so memorable. I gotta say, Steven Spielberg was a genius filmmaker when he did this film. I mean, I think he really hit a stride with E.T. And I gotta say, I love the score. I mean, I know it sounds very similar to Star Wars because it was the same conductor, John Williams, who did Star Wars, Superman, and E.T. He was quite hot property when it came to scoring films. I love the scene where E.T.'s pretending to be a child as a ghost, and he sees Yoda, and he thinks it's another alien. It's really just a kid dressed up as a Yoda. It's a good thing that Steven Spielberg and George Lucas are friends, and it's a good thing. And there was never really a sequel to this. Well, Steven Spielberg felt there really didn't need to be, but in a way, there was a sequel, a 4-minute commercial with Henry Thomas reprising his role as Elliot. He's married with kids, and E.T. comes back to visit him for the holiday. That was a pretty good memorial thing. I give E.T. the Extraterrestrial a 10 out of 10. E.T. Phone Home.